Hello all. In this particular video, I am actually going to talk on an important topic called what could be the future of Agile in IT jobs. Okay, so what I have actually thought is I had written a LinkedIn article on this particular topic. So in this particular video, I will be providing a walkthrough of that particular LinkedIn article, and then probably at a relevant touch points, I will be sharing my insights on it. Okay, so before I actually go ahead and then share it, let me actually quickly introduce like uh, introduce myself. My name is Balaji, and I have somewhere close to 22 years of experience in IT, and somewhere close to 14 plus years of experience in agile driven engagements. I had played multiple roles in the past, like scrum master, senior scrum master, RTE, team level agile coach, enterprise coach, head of the agile transformation office, practice lead. I had also have an extensive experience in terms of a project program and portfolio management from the delivery management background. Okay, so let me go ahead and then share the screen. 1 second, please. Okay, so if you go through this particular LinkedIn article, right, which I had written a week ago, approximately, title of the post is what could be the future of Agile in the ever evolving IT industry. So, uh, like what happened is one of the C-suite person was actually asking me a question, what could be the future of agile in the IT industry. So I have mentioned some of the emerging trends. Let us actually go through the points one by one. So the first point is the IT industry is actually moving more towards outcome driven models of agile. So we are not really interested in okay, how many story points you have consumed, unless and until you create an RFP which is based on this story point. We are not actually concerned about the activities or the outputs. We are more concerned on the outcomes generated. But then to be no to be more logical, you cannot achieve the outcome unless and until you have a better grip on the output. So I will be explaining you the concepts one by one, and then I will give you some examples also. Now, the second pattern what I see is much of the engagements are actually a combination of plan driven approaches together with uh, t- together with adaptive approaches. When I say plan driven, when I say plan driven, like it could be a waterfall model, and when I say agile driven means fundamentally adaptive driven, it is more likely on the agile side. So the point is, it is no more a question of whether you want to use waterfall or you want to use agile. Okay, it is primarily a question of to what extent I need to go by plan driven approaches versus to what extent I actually need to go by the agile driven engagements. Okay, now the concept is, if you just refer to the PMI, if you just refer to the PMI's agile practice guide, it actually clearly gives a direction here saying something called agile suitability filters. Okay, by the by, I'm not actually talking about agile maturity assessments here. I am actually talking about agile suitability filter, wherein a clear direction had been given by the PMI's agile practice guide in terms of to what extent you can go for a plan driven approaches and to what extent you can go for a agile driven or a adaptive engagements. Okay, now so the point is, one of the flavor what I see, much of the IT engagements are actually going towards a hybrid model. Now, someone may ask me why. Why is that the engagement is actually approaching a hybrid model? Now, we may need to understand a concept here. Business needs both predictability, but at the same time, business needs both adaptability, right? For say, for example, if you are actually going to one of the client leadership team and then no asking them, folks, do you wanted predictability or do you wanted adaptability? Predictability means following a plan. Adaptability means responding to change. most likely the leaders will be saying that they needed both. Now the point now the point what I'm trying to say is, now if you take a rubber band, right? If you take a rubber band and then stretch the rubber band, you see a tension between both the points, right? So we have a tug of war between both the points. Now one point is called predictable and one point is called adaptable. The moment I try to be more predictable, I cannot respond to the change. And the moment I try to be more capable to respond to change, I actually cannot be predictable. But then the industry itself runs in a tug of war between predictability versus adaptability. So one of the emerging patterns of agile, or one of the emerging trends of agile in the IT industry is, going forward, much of the engagements are actually going to be executed in a hybrid model, whether you and me like it or no, like it or not. Okay, now let us actually go to the third point. Now the point here is, only talking about Scrum, Kanban, your less safe, Spotify, Dad, Nexus, it's not going to help us going forward, because your agile capabilities need to be harmoniously blended into the overall engagements execution plan. So just to cut a long story short, if your agile capability is not going to resonate with the overall business operating model, believe me, it's not you cannot sustain the momentum going forward, right? So but like fundamentally, it is a high time that we start thinking about the principles behind the practices rather than just holding on to the practices. Okay, now let me go to the fourth one. Okay, one of the ability, or one of the capability which is needed inevitably by the future agile aspirants is ability to build customized agile frameworks, ability to build contextual solutions, ability to build personalized solutions, right? See, if you take this particular suit is not a ready-made suit, right? I actually took the measurements and then means I actually went to a tailor, and the particular tailor had took the measurements and then came up with a suit which actually perfectly suits me. So I don't mind paying more to the tailor, right? Same thing holds true. If you are giving only generic solution to the client, believe me, probably you may not conquer the market. You cannot create a unique selling proposition. So what is needed is the capability to create a customized agile frameworks, the capability to create customized business agility accelerators, enablers on the go. So if you take in my experience, I have created umpteen customized agile frameworks. I have created umpteen business agility frameworks. Of course, I cannot own most of the frameworks, because the no because the patent or the framework ownership is with the client or the organization. But then, based upon my experience, I had already created multiple customized agile frameworks. And if you go through one of my YouTube video, you can find that framework. Or if you can just go to Google and then type customized agile framework plus Balaji plus agile, it will be taking you to my own LinkedIn articles and a YouTube video. Okay, now let us go to the next one, which is a very important point. Agile transformation needs to be preceded with a clearly defined organization change management plan. Why? Because any wise person will generally prepare the soil before he or she sows the seeds. Because if you prepare the soil well, even if you just throw the seed has the potency to become a plant. Unfortunately, if you don't prepare the soil, even if you sow the seeds properly, the seed will not manifest into a tree or a plant. Exactly the same thing happens with the organizations when they do an agile transformation. They are not actually preceding it with a organization change management. So what these people do is, they actually do the agile transformation without fulfilling the prerequisites, without taking care of the precursor activities, and then people crib, safe is not working, agile is not working, transformation is not working, this is not working, Kanban is not working. you actually need to be puzzled if it works, because you have not even taken care of the prerequisites or the precursor activities, but then expecting things to manifest properly, and still we claim to be a logical people. Absolutely no. So my say is that one of the trends of agile in the future is agile transformation will not sustain without the backbone of organization change management concepts. So I have included this point as the fifth point. Okay, so let us keep the ball rolling. Now if you go to the sixth point, understand one thing: someone need to fund the agile transformation, right? Because we are not doing a certification training over here, right? In a real time it complex it engagements, when you are embarking on a large scale agile transformation, funding is still needed, right? So going forward, for sure, agile transformation strategies should create a positive impact on the financial statements of the company. If not, who is going to fund that transformation? So the agile aspirants should also start thinking from the revenue generation perspective, and not just based on the concepts what they learned in these certification classes. By the by, I'm not trying to look down upon the certification classes, but the point what I'm trying to say is, let's understand that certification capabilities are something different from the competencies needed in a real time complex it engagement. Let me give an example to actually prove it. Whatever I'm going to tell in this video, I am just going to give you a real time example to prove it. Let's say 10 days back or 15 days back, one of my mentee from my Agile mentorship program called me, and then he asked me, you see, Balaji, there is a program increment planning simulation which is happening by some certification organization kind of a thing, and those people are asking me 12K to pay. So can I go for the program increment planning? I did a quick research and then told my mentee not to not to okay not to invest that particular 12K there, because see, it is not a question of money alone, it is a question of your time, effort and a commitment. Okay, so the reason why I told is, generally in the certification classes, of course in the certification classes, the objective is to socialize you to the concepts that are new to you. But then the point is, in the certification classes they actually take a simple example. Say for example, for us to simulate the program increment planning, they will be taking a simple example: design a website or like a shopping cart portal, wherein you can check in the items and then probably you can check out an item, and then you do the payment gateway and all blah blah blah. But you tell me, do you think in a real time it engagement the applications what we are building are so simple like this? Absolutely no, because the dependencies, the impediments, the blockers, all these things is going to come on the way to kill the flow of agility. So the point here is, what I'm trying to say is, the examples which are simulated in a certification class has its own controlled environment to operate, because in the certification class actually the intent is not to master the subject, is to first get to know the subject. But in a real time complex engagement, those capabilities may not be sufficient. Okay, those capabilities could potentially be inadequate. Okay, so just to cut a long story short, going forward, agile transformation strategies should create a positive impact on the financial statements of the company. Say for example, balance sheet. Say for example, cash flow statement. Something like that I am trying to tell you people. Okay, now comes the seventh point. Agile needs to be dovetailed with functional knowledge and also with the domain knowledge, right? Why? Because let me tell you the reality. Let me tell you the uh, reality. Many of these scrum masters are just opening up the bridge line and then closing the bridge line during the meetings. Why? Because if this particular scrum master is not going to take a grip on the ecosystem of the project, believe me, then how come the scrum master can start adding value to the engagement? If you are only talking about your scrum, your kanban, it is not going to add value to the it, right, in that particular engagement. Why? Because in a real time in because in a real time ecosystem you are not expected to do generic coaching, you are expected to do contextual coaching. So some amount of functional knowledge, some amount of domain knowledge need to be blended with basic understanding of your technical capabilities. Okay, say for example, if you take me, I have extensive experience in a banking domain, healthcare domain, and a automobile domain. And if you take me, at least I can speak the language of a DevOps delivery pipeline. GitHub. I can speak the language of a pom.xml. I can speak the language of a microservices, or at least these shared services or shared API calls. And I can understand some extent how does a Docker and a Kubernetes container operates. So at least you need to speak the vocabulary of the technical terms. If not, believe me, your team is not going to respect you. Your client is not going to respect you. Your own manager is not going to respect you. So just to cut a long story short again, Agile needs to be dovetailed with the functional knowledge and with some domain knowledge combined with at least the basics of technical capabilities. Okay, say for example, Agile in data science engagements for BFSI clients, Agile in cloud computing initiatives for healthcare customers, Agile in data warehouse engagements. Okay, so if you have these kind of contextualized skills or competencies, that is going to put you, no, that is going to put your resume in a far more better place rather than a vanilla agile. See, you think practically when you go to a restaurant, people are willing to pay money more for a casata. Why casata ice cream? Because casata has a combination of multiple flavors, and people may not be willing to pay more money for a vanilla ice cream, right? Same thing happens in the IT industry. If you have multiple varieties of combination of capabilities, competencies, you can command the show. If not, it's very difficult. Okay, so just wanted to put that point over there. And last but not the least, and the other things, client is expecting a agility at all constructs, like your team level, your program level, your portfolio level. And more important thing is agile needs to be blended with the artificial intelligence capabilities. Because if you take me, in some of my engagements in the past, we have created AI assisted models for for specific user personas like product owner, business analyst, scrum master. So probably if you like to know more on these things, you can feel free to connect with me, and like no probably we can fix a time and then we can get into a conversation. Okay, now just to summarize this particular post, the first point is, okay, this the just to summarize the post, the future of agile in the ever evolving IT industry, people are interested more towards the outcome based approach. Second thing, it is going to be hybrid agile. Third thing, it is actually not going to be only agile, that need to be blended into the overall engagement plan in a much more harmonious manner. Fourth thing, you need to you need to start building your own customized agile framework. Don't copy frameworks like Safe or Spotify without even understanding the basics. And don't do a certification blindly. See, if you take me, I have 15 certifications, but then much of my capabilities came from real-time execution of the projects. Because your cousin brother did a Safe Agilist, or because your neighbor did a certification or something, because your colleague did a certification on something, don't blindly do the certification. Okay, I'm not saying you people you should not do certification. Inevitably basic certifications are needed for your resume to get selected, but then you need to be clear on why am I doing certain things in the first place, right? So from that perspective, you also need to start building your customized agile frameworks and your organization change management concepts. And the sixth point what I wrote is agile transformation should have a positive impact on the financial statements of the company. And then you also need to take your agile, blend it with a functional knowledge, a bit of technical capability, domain knowledge, and also your agile need to be blended with artificial intelligence skills and capabilities. And start thinking agility at all layers. Don't expect only with your product backlog refinement, your sprint planning, your daily stand up, sprint review, demo, retrospective, that you can have program level agility and a portfolio level agility. For you to have program level agility and a portfolio level agility, you need to start thinking about program level cadences and the portfolio level cadences. Just go to Google and then type Ba- Balaji plus program level cadences plus portfolio level. It is going to take you to my own LinkedIn article, which you can take a look. Okay, so 1 minute. So before I wrap up, okay, so before I wrap up this particular video, I also wanted to show you a few more things. I'm just trying to share this screen. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel. Just go to Google and then type, no, just go to Google and then type Agile Mentorship Program plus Balaji. It is going to take you to my particular YouTube videos. From there, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have somewhere around 90 videos created, because I'm not having the real bandwidth to really create no on a regular or a frequent basis. Most of the videos, or rather almost all the videos, are my real-time experience from umpteen agile transformation, digital transformation, and business transformation engagements. So you can actually subscribe to this particular YouTube channel. I will be sharing you all these particular details as the links in the comment section of this particular YouTube video. The other thing what I wanted to share is this particular website of a mine. Just go to balajiagile.com, and then you can see my free webinars here. Most likely on almost all Saturdays, or definitely on every alternate Saturdays, I actually create a free I actually host a free webinar from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. Recording will not be shared on the social media platform. Let me repeat it. Recording will not be shared on the social media platform. Only the edited version will be going on the YouTube. So you can sign up for this particular free webinar, and you can keep checking balajiagile.com. And then you can also download here 50 agile interview questions, which I had created based on my real-time experience as an interview panel member for multiple jobs in Agile. And then if you come below, you have something called a customized Agile framework. Like I actually told you few minutes back, right? This is the framework what I created, and this is the framework in our Agile mentorship program. And these are all the different levels what I have: level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm not going to describe this in detail. You can just go to my website, balajiagile.com. For example, if you wanted to take a look into 150 agile interview questions coaching, you can just go to this, click on this, and then you can just go through the real-time video which I have actually embedded over there. And these are all some of the testimonials. Okay, all right. I'll stop sharing this. Okay, and I do believe this particular video was to some extent useful to you. So if you have any queries, or if you have any feedback, or if you have any comments, you can actually put it in the comment section of this particular YouTube video once I upload it, of course. And then I will also give you my WhatsApp number. If in case you like to connect with me, please feel free to ping me, no, ping me over there. Sometimes due to my hectic thing, I may not be able to immediately respond to you, but generally I make sure that I respond to no all the pings on my WhatsApp within a 24 hours max. Okay, so hope to see you in some other video soon. Take care, and may God bless you all. Cheers. Bye.